question. How does a goofy person learn how to become more of a leader? How does a timid player learn how to be more aggressive? How does that same player become a big part of my
hip
family?
replacement surgery?
My camera is legit.
Shit, man.
HD, look, your dad wants to get in it.
Nope, look like shit.
Even better question. How can we get that kid to earn 3 scholarship offers by the end of her senior year? I am an unknown trainer, and I go by Coach Joe. This one shooting is Mariah Maes. Watch us go through the process and the journey of truly taking control of her game. Now, where do we start when we talk about taking control of your game? I think the best place to start is value. Where does your value come from? As her trainer, I'm known to give Mariah a hard time because enough is never really enough in my mind. But I gotta give my girl her props. She is one of the best on-ball defenders in Albuquerque, New Mexico. When it comes to the assignment of guarding the best player on the floor, as far as her team goes, she's usually grabbing that assignment with no questions asked. And this is her value. This is what her team counts on her for. This is what her coach counts on her for. To play great defense, to get stops, to stay in front of the ball, to keep the number 1 player from scoring 20 points a game. Now, defense wasn't always her thing. When it came to footwork, Mariah was like a baby giraffe trying to learn how to walk for the first time. But as we got better, all we did was work on footwork. And surprisingly, it helped her defense. She realized that she was pretty good at defense, and so did her coach. So guess what? As soon as you realize that you are pretty decent at something, and your team can count on you in that thing, go overboard. Go all into it. Because now your coach has something to look to you for. If your team needs rebounding, be the rebounder. If your team needs better passing, pushing the ball up the floor, better shooting, be that. Because once you supply big time value, elite, I'm talking elite value, not just do it every once and now and then, you will now secure a starting spot. Not only that, but college coaches look for things like this. How do I know? Because I'm a former college coach.
Coach and I have just arrived at Cleveland Middle School, and this is a very important landmark in the relationship we have to this day. Because this is where I met Coach. So, we are going to take a tour.
And her life changed forever.
And my life was forever changed.
First off, I have no idea why Mariah is talking like this. She wants to be a narrator so bad. But we met at Cleveland Middle School. This is my first time coaching, and our first encounter was actually at a student staff game. Now, I was handing out buckets, but Mariah wasn't too happy about that. I also blocked her shot. Then the very next play, I saw something in her. She came literally out of nowhere and blocked my shot. And that's when I knew, I gotta train this kid. So in middle school, Mariah used to be a little baby.
But I'm not dramatic. I was just
being dramatic as usual.
So I would get really frustrated in our games, and I would just start crying all the time. We would go into the locker room at halftime, and I would just cry. And then I would wipe my tears, I would get over it, and then we would finish the game.
Such a baby. And she used to be scrawny. So you see how scrawny she is right now.
It was worse.
She used to be super scrawny. Now you want to make it when I start recording it.
Oh wait, it's supposed to be about like 3
Yes.
Go ahead.
I was still
Ready?
kind of new
There
to
you go.
training,
Go ahead and flex on
and
it
I
one
wanted to
time.
figure out things
Two
that will
times.
really
Flex
help
on them
kids
2 times.
get better faster. So that summer,
Flex
I
them.
offered Mariah to work out for a month.
Show them your muscles.
That
Arm
month
muscles.
turned to 3 months. Those 3 months turned into a year. The year turned into
baby
4.
arms. Little twigs. What grade are you in now?
10th. I mean, yeah, 10th.
Yeah, 10th. So we have 2 years
I'm a sophomore.
until you graduate. Right?
Yes. Don't worry, guys. I already have my plan.
What's your What's your plan? I never heard of this plan.
Yeah, I just told you about my plan. I have my plan. I'm going to get a scholarship, and then I'm going to go to school for speech therapy, and then I'm just going to teach kids how to talk.
Good. I can't is a curse word. Boom. Finish.
I can't finish.
I know. Because I can't is what? The main goal when we first started was to develop the kid and to create my own training program. But I grew to really, really like the kid. You can see her attitude, her smile. It's infectious. She's a very bright and charismatic kid. Now, I also wanted to document how far we would get, what we would do, and who knew how long we would even stay together. Because, kids have short attention spans, and they're very quick to move on to the next best thing. Luckily, Mariah wasn't that kid. She was loyal to me as her trainer. She was loyal to the process, and so was her family. This is her little brothers playing defense right here. They became a big part of our training process.
Oh, yeah.
Her brothers and her mom were my occasional rebounders and cameramen. Now, maybe they were working for free, but who's complaining? After her freshman year, me and Mariah went on a 17-day boot camp because unfortunately, I had to move away. During that process, we worked out for 17 days straight, doing nothing but shooting, working on angles, working on how to read the defense, which was pretty much her hardest thing to grasp. How do you not know how to read a defender's body? But it's a problem that a lot of players, especially a lot of young players, seem to have. That whole first year, we went over ball handling footwork just for her to be able to make moves like this. Now it's time to learn how to read and react. Before I left, I needed her to understand what her go-to moves were, how attacking works. And not only that, during this process, we established what the attack 1, attack 2 movement is. These days ended up being the most important days that I have ever spent with her, because not only did we do a bunch of reading and reacting, we did a lot of shooting, and we got to adjust some things with her shot. But these were also the most irritating, aggravating days that I have ever spent with Mariah Maes. This was the first time I seen that happy-go-lucky, charismatic kid turn into a total brat. She was just a brat. I can't call it any other type of way. Because she was so frustrated that there were certain things that she just couldn't get right. And I've experienced that with her before, but we always worked through it. This was the first time I saw her cave. She didn't understand reading and reacting. She didn't understand the attack 1, attack 2. Now, this was the first time I had to check her for her attitude. This was also the first time where I had to kick her out of the gym. Now, there were plenty of times where she just didn't want to be there anymore because she couldn't get it right and she was sick of trying. But I'm a firm believer. Live defense is the only way that you can see if the things that you've been practicing actually works. Mariah's upgraded from playing with the old people. Now she's gonna hoop with some youngins today, and we'll see how she does. Mariah, you ready to go? You excited? Right?
Actually, these guys are kind of scary. They're like a bunch of aces.
The defense.
Scary defense.
It's a scary defense. Yep, he said he was gonna play it. If you want to get better, make the situations harder. That's my motto. Honestly, when I was the coach in middle school and my team was not very good at all, I used to make them practice 5 on 10, meaning 10 people on defense, full court pressing. The only way to get better is to play against people who are already better than you. The only way to become less timid is to play against people who are better than you. To take your shots against people who are better than you, bigger than you, taller than you, stronger than you. Prove yourself worthy to play with those people. Especially if you've been putting the work in. Kids don't hoop enough. Go out there and go get a bucket. This was my most memorable time with Mariah, but also my most favorite. Because really, I got to be a big bully. My job was foul, 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 foul. And can you get past me? That's it. I wanted to toughen her up. If you have a timid kid, you have to toughen them up. Whether that's with the trainer, you take them to go play basketball at the park or at the gym, but the kid has to get tougher. First, make sure that you have the skill, meaning you've practiced doing the ball handling and you've practiced doing the shooting and the different types of finishing. Now, go apply it. That's the only way you get better in basketball. Not only that, but add in the moves that you want to master. Learn how that move works. After that, ball out. Go crazy. Needless to say, once our 17 days started coming to an end, she started to understand reads. She was such a better attacker. So much better. But she also gathered up the nerve to do it in game on her basketball team. It was a requirement. If you do not attack in games, meaning get so many drives during the game, then what we're doing is pointless and you'll never understand. So my main goal for her within those first 2 years were just to drive to the basket, understand your reads, know when to attack, get to the basket.
Right.
This wasn't only for her skills to get better.
Ooh, that's kind of pretty.
This wasn't only for her footwork and her athletic ability to get better. Nah. We had to get that mental in check.
Woo.
We had to make sure mentally she was
You
good.
got sections. 1. Hit 1. Hit 1. 1. Good. Give me another one. Hit 1. You got to do them right or don't count. You get 1 bounce. Bring that ball back. Hit that bounce. Bring that ball back.
Now, do you know
Good.
how to lock in? That's the only question that matters after
Come on,
that.
focus. Last section. Sections.
So,
1.
throughout
Hit
this
1.
process,
Bring that ball back. Boom.
that's
Boom.
something that we tried to master.
Better.
Or at least get kind of
Okay.
close to it. Come on, give it to me. Hype it up, hype it up. Slow, slow, slow. There you go. Good. One more. I need you to hit this bounce. I need you to get this bounce right here. That's all I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on this bounce. Okay? Take your body with the bounce. Slow, 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 slow. That's a good step. So, since you already veered to the side, we're not going to change it too much. Go ahead and put that finger there. Okay? I came back to New Mexico to become the assistant coach at Northern New Mexico College. Now, this was also Mariah's sophomore year. So during that time, I would drive back and forth to come and train with her. That is an hour-and-a-half drive, a 3-hour drive there and back. But who's counting? Definitely me. Because I would come and see Mariah after games, after long road trips. If I could, I am driving back to Albuquerque just to make sure that she's not doing something funky with her shot and changing her form. You see how pretty that shot is? Why would you mess that up? I don't know. I was just committed. I really wanted to see the kid win. So we would spend gym days, just like today, getting up shots, putting in legit work, still going over footwork, still going over ball handling. But you know what? There were times where her attitude was not getting better. So I told her straight up, I'm driving all this way to come and see you and coming to do these workouts. You need to fix your attitude. Good. And if not, we're just going to have to take a break. So that's what we ended up doing. As her trainer, I personally hated it. Because that was just time that we couldn't get back. That was just time that she was not getting better.
Stay right there.
And our ultimate goal was to get her scholarship. Our ultimate goal was to get better. So I felt like I wasn't doing my job.
Get more arc on the shot.
But honestly, I'm not just her trainer. I feel like her older sister. Sometimes I feel like her best friend. Sometimes I feel like her mom. Sometimes I feel like her mentor. I feel like that's my kid. And that kid needs to be guided in a certain direction. And I wasn't able to do that for her during that time. If you ask any kid that I've ever trained, I've ever coached, I make it a point to help, to be there, to make them feel like I'm going to help them no matter what. Because honestly, you are my kid now. Welcome to the family.
Okay. Is it gripping through these two fingers before you shoot the ball? So you'll do a quick spin, and then you just go straight into your shot.
Well, I'll go like I guess I hold it for a second before I shoot.
Right. Not all the time.
But yeah, usually it's...
And you'll just go straight into it because the ball's already spinning. Right? You don't necessarily have good touch on the ball if the ball's spinning, and then you just shoot the ball.
So stop it.
So do it. Do it. Take a second before you shoot the ball. Because you have to... I'm not going to necessarily fix this too much. I just want you to be aware of it. Like, because you're going to keep shooting like this anyway. Like, it's going to take time to break this habit. It's a bad habit, right? So for right now, you need to focus on what fingers that you're shooting through when
Which
you catch
it
the ball.
should be more so this one, these two.
These two.
Because my hand's off-centered.
Okay? But when you pick up the ball, you have to feel it. Like, it's touch. You have to have touch. So if you're not feeling it before you shoot the ball, okay, go ahead and shoot. Right? And then every single time when you go, you have to get it over the rim. Right? And then it's soft fingers. Good. Always over. Good. Louder. Okay. Chat. As long as it feels good. Fix the finger. Oh. That's better.
Yes. Yes.
When you catch, try not to turn.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yes.
I'm facing that way. When you shoot, and we turn, step, right? Your eye should already be on the basket. So when you go through here, you're shooting through this eye. So through here, right? This eye should already be on the basket. Okay? Like, make that a thing. Because it becomes easier once you can lock in right away and you already know what you're shooting at. You see what I'm talking about? Hey! Through the...
Mariah had what I like to call her first breakout game this year. Now, a breakout game is the first game where you really just go crazy, where you're just feeling it and you're in that zone and you're handing out buckets. It was a game where she absolutely couldn't miss. The best part about that was she was actually shooting it. She was letting it fly every chance she got.
Get those feet out quick.
And that's all we actually want to see Mariah do. Let it fly when you got it.
Yep.
Now, you are a great passer and we appreciate that.
You gotta turn your
But
body
girl,
a
if you
little
don't
bit.
shoot this ball,
That eye. There you go. Tell me yes or no.
during the
Yes or no.
quarantine period with Corona happening, we didn't get a whole lot of time to get work in. Of course, we got some work in. I'm never gonna just let her slide. But, you know, they were taking down courts. We couldn't really get in gyms. So with that being said, the kids' reads just weren't as sharp as they once were. Plain and simple. She has gotten so used to being on the
As long as
attack.
you feel it.
And
keep
her
it there.
team is so used to being on the attack.
Good.
They're a very high volume driving team. But her spatial awareness got really bad. So as soon as she got the ball, she was ready to attack, ready to drive, ready to get in the paint, not even reading what the defense was doing. So a lot of this work that we're doing now
Always be ready to shoot.
in the middle of her senior year is just spatial awareness. When are you going to let it fly?
Good.
Be more patient. As trainers, we always want to train the next best thing. We always want to train our kids to be killers, to be monsters on the floor. And that's all good and fine, right? But honestly,
So give me a yes.
maybe
no.
that kid is just a killer defender and a great passer and a great teammate,
Thank you.
but may not be super aggressive on offense. The point is, the kid has to grow. And as much as we want it to be on our timeline, it's not always that way. Even for parents. Parents, I know you want the kid to do more, to be better. But I've had to check myself as a coach and as a trainer and as a player.
Stay right there.
It just doesn't always work that way. They have to realize it for themselves. And as long as they're growing, as long as they're getting better, that has to be good enough. And now Mariah has the chance to play at the next level. But getting to the next level isn't always an easy task. Mariah struggled her senior year. And not really having a junior year messed her up.
No hesitation.
But she still came out with 3 offers.
See?
I'm going to show you just how we got through those struggles and how she made that happen.
But now you have to pay attention to your space. If you have too much space, shoot the ball. See? I'm standing on the 3-point line. There we go. Catch your balance on those. Because you're already past me. Catch your balance. Good. Let me see your lip.
It's better. It's just right there. But it's healed.
He was out there getting bullied. No. No.
Or do you just want me to show it?
Yeah.
Alright, teeth straight.
How much did you like working out when you first started?
I mean, not a lot. Because
when you first started?
When I first started, like when I was like baby giraffe first started, we were doing dribbling, I was always fumbling the ball, I was always like getting frustrated because I couldn't do it. But now I like it because I can do stuff easier. I don't like when stuff's hard.
Well, you still don't like when stuff is hard.
Yeah. But
so,
it's easier now.
And then even midway, you were already better, and you still didn't like it.
I just have high expectations for myself, so I get frustrated when I can't reach them.
Well, you can't reach them if you don't work. This is how that works. So how much do you like it now?
I like it. It's cool.
Well, we did a shooting workout today,
yeah,
so
I like
that
that.
don't really count.
I like that.
When you start to get better, do you feel like it's more pressure?
In a way, yeah.
Why?
Because you're expected to do more because you have more skill.
Before, you couldn't do as much. So, like, you're a freshman on varsity, you hardly even played.
Yeah.
But back then, you could hardly do as much.
Right.
Sophomore, you could do more, and you played a lot more.
In junior year, I could do a lot more, and I played a lot more. In senior year, I don't come out the game. And I do a lot more.
But sophomore year, when you play a lot more, is it more pressure to feel like you have to do something?
Yeah. It's more pressure regardless, depending on how much you're on the court. Like, if I didn't go in for more than a minute a game, then I wouldn't feel that much pressure on my shoulders. But if you're in the whole game and you don't get a sub, then that's a lot more pressure because the win or loss, like, it's really dependent on you. You and the other 4 players on the court. Like, our team, we rotate 6 players.
Mm-hmm.
So the pressure's on all of us. He can yell at all of us in the locker room, but really does it apply to the other 4 players? You know?
Yeah.
So it is more pressure, but it's not a bad pressure, I don't think.
More boys work out than girls.
Yeah.
Definitely. How you gonna park in front of me? How I'm gonna get out?
Where are you going?
Dang, just stir shade.
Where are you going?
I'm really not going to. Oh, I do have to go to the gym. I want to go work out. But if I wasn't here, would you keep working out?
Yeah. Even when you weren't here, I would go put up shots. Mostly with Audrey and Hope.
Mm-hmm.
Although we would go sometimes. But when you're here, it's more like consistent. It's like, it's more of a, come on, let's go work out. Okay.
Like, before you started working out, was it like, why?
Why work out?
Yeah.
Not necessarily because I was seeing changes, but like when I first started.
When you first started, when I asked you, was it like, why?
Kind of. But I was also like a little 8th grader.
Right, but.
So yeah.
I feel like a lot of girls would like ask Like, why?
Like, work out, why?
Because a lot of girls don't work out.
Yeah.
They just play.
Play and practice, things you're required to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you like basketball, so wouldn't you want to get better?
Yeah. I guess.
Like, aren't you tired of sitting on the bench? Like, you don't want to get better?
Yeah. Well, if I didn't start training youth my 8th grade year, I probably wouldn't have a 4-year letter.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks.
No, but I'm saying, like, because, like, your thought process is why.
I guess they don't, yeah, like, why? Like, it's not a, I'm gonna go work out. Like, it's the influence. So I feel like maybe it's because, like, for me it was like, why? Because my mom doesn't work out, my dad doesn't work out, my sister quit. My brothers were too young. So then I was like, go work out. What are you talking about, go work out?
So it is influence.
You.